Through an example of Huntington Hill's method of apportionment. This is the current method of apportionment for the U.S. House of Representatives. In your project, you'll be apportioning the 435 seats in the House among the 50 states. For this example, we just have 6 states, and we're going to apportion 250 seats. So, like all the apportionment methods, we start by adding up the sum of the states' populations. And Excel is suggesting, it's giving me 2 possibilities. It says, do you want to add all the numbers from B2 to B7, or do you want to take their average? I definitely want to add them, so I'm going to choose that suggestion, 12,500,000. Okay, next we calculate the standard divisor. That is the total population divided by the number of seats, 50,000. All right, so then our standard quota, that is the state's population divided by the standard divisor. And I have to add some dollar signs before and after this L. The explanation for the dollar signs is in the Hamilton's method video if you want to go back and check that out. Okay, so now I'm going to add those up. Make sure that it came out to 250. Good. Okay, so then for lower quota, that is round down the standard quota to 0 decimal places. So you click on the standard quota, comma 0, and we will accept the autofill suggestion, except for the last cell. I can add those up if I want. The sum of the cells above it. There we go, 246. Now I do the upper quota, which is round up the standard quota to 0 decimal places, except for the last one. That's the sum of the cells above it. Okay, so now I have the lower quotas and the upper quotas. So this is this number rounded down and this number rounded up. And then what Huntington Hill does is it uses the geometric mean of the lower quota and the upper quota as a cutoff for rounding. So I'm going to calculate the geometric mean, which is the square root. So the command there is sqrt, that's square root, open a parenthesis, and to tell it what to take the square root of. So we want to take the square root of 32 times, which is the asterisk in Excel, 33. So you click on the 32 times the 33, close the parenthesis, and we will accept that autofill, except for the last one. I don't care about the sum of the geometric means, so I'm going to leave it blank. All right, now Huntington Hill rounding. Huntington Hill says that if the standard quota is above this cutoff value, then you round up. And if the standard quota is below this cutoff value, then you round down. So 32.92, that's larger than this cutoff value, so it should round up. We want a 33 should be in here. We can do that in our heads. You could just type a 33, but the project requires you to use formulas in every box, which seems silly when the problem only has 6 states, but when you have 50 states, you want the program to do it for you, so you don't have to spend a lot of time looking at this number and comparing and rounding. So we'll spend a little extra time writing a formula so that the program can do it all for us. So we start with an equals, and this is going to be an if-then statement. If the standard quota is bigger than the geometric mean, round up, otherwise round down. And round up is the upper quota, round down is the lower quota. So we're going to say equals if, open a parentheses. And then it tells you how to write an if statement. It says you give a logical expression. So if something, what to do if that something is true, and then put in what to do if that something is false. So the something is this number being bigger than this number. So if this number is bigger than this number. So we do this, then greater than the geometric mean. Okay, so if C2 is bigger than F2, if the standard quota is above the cutoff, then in this cell, I want you to give me the upper quota because we round up. If the standard quota is bigger than the geometric mean, then I want this number, the 33. Otherwise, I want the 32, the rounded down. And we will accept the suggested autofill, except for the bottom one. That one should be the sum of the numbers above it. 251. All right, so that is a little bit too big. I only want to give out 250 seats. So that number is too big, which means we need to make the divisor a little bit bigger. So let's try 50,500. So my modified quota, that's going to be the state's population divided by the new modified divisor. Make sure we add some dollar signs in here before and after this M. I will accept the autofill. The total for the modified quotas, I'm just going to leave blank. All right, the modified lower quota, that is round down to 0 decimals. Oh, I missed a D. Round down. There we go. And it didn't suggest an autofill, so I need to drag this down. So I hover till I get the little crosshairs, click, and drag it down in the cells you want that. All right, and then the modified upper quota, that is the modified, round up. The modified quota, 0 decimals. I will accept the autofill, except for this last one. All right, and then the geometric mean, that equals the square root of the lower quota times the upper quota. I'll accept the autofill, except for the bottom one. Get rid of that. Okay, and then the final Huntington Hill rounding, I'm going to do the if statement again. So we do equals if. Okay, if the modified quota, 32.59, if that is larger than the geometric mean, which is the cutoff. Okay, so if the modified quota is above the geometric mean, then we round up. So we do comma. The number that you get when you round up is 33. So we click on the 33. Otherwise, we round down and you get the 32. I will accept the autofill. In the last entry here, that is supposed to be the sum of the cells above it. $248. Okay, so that's a little bit too small, which means I need to make this number smaller, but not as small as 50,000 because that gave me a sum of 251, which was too big. So somewhere between 50,000 and 50,500, maybe 50,300. And that did it. Because now we have 250 seats exactly, which was our goal.